Hello and welcome. In this video, I will show you how builder forms in SAP Ariba Budgeting and Invoicing can have now and since first quarter this year, 2019, a classic workflow using the same approval engine you can use for requisitioning, invoicing, or receiving. This new feature allows you to use that same functionality, configuring serial and parallel approvers or watchers, adding individual users or groups, using lookup files, supervisor chain rules, fields mapping, and more complex conditions than in the standard forms builder approval. This opens the door to really driving a lot more flexibility. Members who belong to the custom form designer group who can design and publish forms can perform also this task. We have some limitations, but main one is probably that this works only for budgeting and invoicing, not in guided budgeting. And now let's see how it works in the system. When you are on a form itself, you can see on the right an approval workflow section. So now you can choose which approval flow you want to apply to your form documents. Default is custom forms, but you can choose classic approval flow in order to configure approval rules in your SAP Ariba procurement solutions. If the None option is selected, no approval is necessary for submitted forms documents. When you click on Classic, and you go to the approval flow section, it says no approval flow available, but provides some few steps to start using the classic workflow engine. First, we need to do is click in the blue button below. We need to save before proceeding. And it says the form is now available in classic approval flow. So we can create a new approval workflow or we can do it later. Let's create the new approval workflow now. Once we make the form available in classic approval flow, we need to enter a title and select an approval type. And we see how a related approval type is automatically created. We can also choose any other existing type, but let's start from scratch. We see we have access to the standard approval flow functionality, same we do for requisitioning and invoicing, but for Form Builder. We can make conditions based on user objects. In this case, we simply added requester supervisor. We can also make conditions based on any field available in the form for building the workflow. In this case, we are choosing one of the questions for matching the value. The exceptions for adding the custom fields are paragraph text, section header, attachments, hyperlinks, or data tables. And we can see that the internal field name is shown here. This is a limitation we cannot change. When a form is available as a standard approvable type, the system creates 4 new user groups for each form design. But unfortunately, only the manager user group is supported at this time. We can also add approver lookup tables in the traditional way. Again, we can find custom fields, and again, we can see that internal field name is mapped to the column name. In this case, we would like to have category managers approvers for some specific commodities. Even if we can see approvable edit rules, this is a functionality which is not supported in custom forms. For finishing this session, if we go back to the form, note that you cannot change the approval workflow option, meaning it will be necessary to create a new form if you want to change it. Be aware of it, especially when you are testing it, since every time you have a form where you turn classic, remember, new approval type will be generated and it won't be possible to remove. So please keep it in mind so you don't end with a high number of different form types. Hope this session was useful and thanks for watching.